So with the cylinder, so this is, if our highlight's up here in the corner, right, we have our light bulb. That light is traveling, and it's also going to hit the top of the cylinder here. So this is going to be our highlight. All right. And our core shadow is going to be probably right about here. Cast shadow going to be down here. So before I go into any of that, let's just start out. I'm going to start out again with the 4B for that core shadow. Because we're not trying to get it to be like at absolute 10. So I've gotten that. That's going to be the core shadow. And I'm going to go ahead and do a little bit of shadow's edge next to it. A little bit of shadow's edge over here. And now I'm actually going to grab my like 2H to go ahead and just give like a tiny, tiny transition this way. And I'm trying to make the directions of my lines curve with, like, this is what we call an ellipse, this oval that's at the top of the cylinder. You want your lines to move with that ellipse or in the direction of that ellipse. And now I'm going to go ahead and move my finger this way, and it made it pretty dirty, and that's okay. So I'm going to go ahead and give some highlight over here. Clean up my highlight with the eraser on top. Clean it up over this way. We don't need it there. Because sometimes smudging really helps you like clean up the texture of the paper. Like if I give you, I mean, computer paper is one thing, but there are some drawing papers that have like a tooth, and you really have to kind of like get rid of that texture through smudging. And this is one of those scenarios where a kneaded eraser really comes in handy, but those keep like walking off, so it's hard for me to justify putting them out. And then we're going to come over here and give a little bit of reflected light on that side. And now I'm also going to grab my 6B and then just deepen that, bring back some of that core shadow to our cylinder. And I'm going to actually do some 7H and just try really lightly to bring some of those like 2s back into the other side. And I'm going to go one way. And I've been going in one direction. Now I'm going to go in the other direction, and it's actually going to help me hide a lot of my shading marks. Hide that texture a little bit, which is not always the goal. Like, I kind of usually like seeing the marks, but I would, like, for you as an artist, you get to decide what type of marks work for you. And maybe for you, it's for them to be hidden. Alrighty. And I'm actually going to start out with my 6B for this cast shadow. And again, if I were to draw that, like if this black line wasn't around the cylinder from the printer, you would just leave, this would be white. And that really does help just bring out so much three-dimensionality. It's kind of crazy. Something so simple and kind of weird, kind of non-intuitive. And now I'm going to grab my ebony, and the ebony is going to be my top layer. I'm going to get, and I'll leave a tiny bit of reflected light there too. And voila. I might try and get a little more consistency in the cylinder. Are you going to the bathroom? Or the cast shadow of the cylinder.